How are you all this fine day? I hope that if you're here, you subscribe to this channel if you're not already, and you check out everything that's down below. Always a fun time with social media, my website, all that stuff. And I want to just touch on a very common thing that I notice, that when I, as an autistic person, a disabled person, a neurodiverse person, that Olive is behind me, and that, there's always some level of criticism, whether it's said or not. Obviously, if it's online, it will be said. But it falls into the line of, you shouldn't be seeking out, not everything is handed to you, or you are too sensitive about something, or to just you are being entitled and nothing in life is owed to you, so you should just be, happy to exist regardless of any sort of inherent ableism or poor representation, harmful stereotypes, language, you name it. All of these different, very nuanced, very harmful things can be tossed aside solely based on if you are pointing these things out and you're bothered by them, then you're entitled and you get special treatment. Now, I'm speaking from my experience, but how about if we were talking about you, and would you say the same, that you're receiving special treatment if you are Black, if you are a woman, if you're gay, if you are in poverty? You name the minority, not even a minority, but you name a marginalized or discriminated against group, and there are so many reasons to point out what's wrong, call it for what it is, and ask for change. And you could be met with a response of, you're being too sensitive, you just need to toughen up, you should just be glad to be here. I think if you were on the other side of the conversation, it might be a little bit different. You might not be calling me or anybody else a quote-unquote snowflake, as I've seen it before. If we just called everything that somehow denotes that people who are different are treated unfairly, we'd be just, we're a mess already to some extent. But I mean, everything goes then, as long as you're not the one being targeted or being misrepresented. It's just something very interesting, I think, to note, and we've made so much progress in different aspects of just expanding our definitions of of what it means to be of a certain group, you know, what has been problematic in our history, what can we relearn, unlearn, how can we do better? But I don't think that's fully come to fruition in terms of disability. And there are so many obvious points, but I think the most obvious to me, and just doing what I do, is receiving those kinds of comments of, in my mind, I see them as tone deaf. I see them in being what would be for race would be colorblind, but I guess in this case would be ability, just completely disregarding the fact that it's not special treatment to treat someone with dignity or to treat them as a human being with full competency, with just, you know, an adult and not a magical baby rainbow, just something you can toss aside and it's okay because they're disabled. So, I mean, yeah, that's what we've always done. So yeah, I guess you could say then that, sure, me, other disabled people, really, if you identify as neurodiverse, diagnosed formally or self-diagnosed, you know, if we are told that we are entitled for just trying to fit into a world not made for us and trying to receive respect, then, I mean, sure, you could call it special treatment. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of places that just call it respect. But, I mean, whatever you want to call it, that's fine. And I'm sure people can say that these same exact comments in this context, in any other conversation that I've had here, and I would be lying if I said it didn't, like, really bug me, or just, like, you know, just kind of like that little gnawing of, you know, am I wrong, or am, you know, at points full-on doubting in the past, for sure, doubting whether I was actually autistic or not, just based off of others' comments that fall into those lines of criticism. And it's more reflective, I think, of others. I'm a big believer in, you know, what you say and what you do are ultimately just reflections of your internal workings, of your own being, your own mind, your own thoughts about yourself and experiences. So, in that sense, you know, it gives greater insight. And, you know, I'm, as an autistic person, I do have emotions, and I'm actually, like, empathetic through the roof, and that means I have empathy for these people. That something must have happened in their lives that would, you know, give such a response of entitlement, of what's ever owed to you, of special treatment, you know, you're too sensitive. I think we need more sensitivity, and if there was any need for sensitivity, it's in those kinds of words, and it's in these really delicate situations that we otherwise don't see as delicate, and in turn we continue to perpetuate harm. And you know what? If you're here, if you believe in those types of things, then you're in the right place. Subscribe if you're not already. Like this video if you like it. Share any comments, criticism or otherwise. Lay them on me, because by fault, I'm an open book. And that subjects me to any sort of criticism, but it also means that I really don't mind in criticizing those who have no sense of dignity for those that are different from them, whether that difference is visible or not. Even more so then. So thank you so much for being here, taking the time to watch. I hope you have wonderful rest of day, week, whatever. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you all next time.